All right, Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson, but I wanted to kind of continue on the vibration I was on last night. So going into these new speak, right? These words of confusion, because when you can create words and add definition to existing words, you can perpetuate lies. So the so-called Jewish people, right, which go back into that word Jewish, right? The word Jewish, right, is new speak, right? It's a new created word. It was created in around the 1540s, right? The letter J was created in 1524. So prior to, the letter J being created in the pronunciation of the J sound in the 1524, that word J, Jewish, Jew, was never used. That's that word Jesus as well. That's all new speak, right? So we're gonna put a magnifying glass, right, to these fraudsters. We're gonna expose them more, right? So another word I want to add into that is Christian, right? I'm gonna go show you that word in scripture. And the Israelites was first called Christianas. I think that's how you say it in the Greek tongue, the Christianas, which they'll be followers of Hamashiach, right? Followers of the true Messiah, Yahweh. And that was a derogatory term. Now, with the redefinition, right, of the word Christian, they made it to believe anybody to believe in so-called white Jesus. I'm going to get into this lesson. I'm going to get into a word that you probably never heard of before. It says newspeak. I'm going to get back into this so this can make sense. It says newspeak is a language that is intentionally confusing and ambiguous, and it is used to manipulate and deceive people. This word Jewish, and then like the elder Malcolm says, there's no such thing as the 12 tribes of Jewish, right? Or the 12 tribes of Jew, right? So when you go into the word, the correct word is supposed to be Judeans, and that will be Yahweh in the Hebrew tongue, and that will be the tribe, as you know, as Judah, right? And that's just one tribe of the other. What about the other 11 tribes? You can't have a collective nation of Israel. And they said they fulfilled biblical prophecy in 1948. But hold up. If they claiming to just be from the tribe of Judah, what about the other 11 tribes? You can't have no collective nation of Israel pursuant to prophecy, the book of Jeremiah 31 and 31, in Hebrews 8 and 8, without having all 12 tribes united. And the Most High said he was going to put us back in that land. So let's go to this word that you probably never heard of. I'm gonna break this down, right? So let's go to the pronunciation.
Neologism.
Neologism, right? So this is a word that the Spirit took me to, and this word right here is what it means is a newly coined word or expression. Let's go to a better definition so you can get more clarity, right? Check this out. It says right here. It says the term also refers to the adoption of a new definition for an existing word. Do you hear this? Going back into that term Christian, right? So they have redefined what Christian mean. The true Christians are the Israelites. That's the ancient definition of what it means. But when they add new definitions to words, right here, it says the term also refers to the adoption of a new definition for an existing word or expression. Let's keep going. Right here. Neologism, if I'm saying that correctly, is a newly coined word or expression or a new meaning for an existing word. Right? So this word Christian, right? So you bugged out Edomites and now people that call themselves Christians. This is a redefinition of what the word Christian means. The word, in the ancient sense of it, it means the Israelites. Them other Christians, when you go into the word Christian, it means follower of Hamashiach. They say follower of Christ, right? But let's go to this word Christian, right? So Christian, you see how this works when they add these new definitions to it, right? It's already an existing word. It says Christian. It says relating or professing Christianity or its teaching. So this is the redefinition of what the word means, what they added to it. Right here. A person who has received Christian baptism, that's another new definition, right, is a believer in Christianity, right? So these new definitions of what they define the word to be. But when you go back into the word Christian, it means follower of Hamashiach, follower of Christ, which is Hamashiach, the Messiah, right? And who was following the Messiah? The Israelites. The apostles and disciples were Israelites. Let's go here. But with this modern redefinition, that's why people ignorantly call themselves Christians today, not knowing the origin of the word. It's in Acts 11 and 26. And when he had found him, he brought them to Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year that they assembled themselves with the church, which I went into the word church in one of my lessons. It means the assembly of the Israelites. Look it up. Go to the blue letter and look it up. It says, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. And when you go to the word Christian, right? Let's go here. Matter of fact, I want to go into the origin of the word Christian. Right here. It says right here, this word goes back into Latin, Christus, which it means Christ, which is talking about the Messiah. So you did the real Christians, if you want to use that terminology, and we never called ourselves Christians as well. That's new speech. All right. The term was Christianos, if I'm not mistaken, in the Greek. Right. So this word Christian is just an English translation, and that's how you get the redefinition of what a Christian is. Right. Because right here, look at here, born again Christian. This all pertains to modern day Christianity as we know it today. But the ancient definition of a Christian was somebody that followed the Messiah, which were the Israelites. Point blank, period. Let's go here. Let's deal with this word Jewish, right? And I went into this word yesterday. Look, the etymology is Jewish, 1540s, from Jew, right? So again, while they do these things, they play wordplay games with your mind, and so you can associate these names with these images in your mind. So when you think about somebody that's Jewish or that's a so-called Jew, which we know that's new speak, right? Because we never called ourselves Jews or Jewish. You think about this, and with this, what they have done in all the literature, when you read about the Bible commentary, when you go into the Bible commentaries, the Strong Concordance, when you go into all the information dealing with the truth, they replaced the word Israelite and put the word Jewish or put the word Christian there. You understand where I'm going with this? So you can so when you see the word Jewish or Jews, your mind goes back into this imagery right here. So you won't make the connection that you're the people, if that makes sense. I know I'm kind of going hard about it, but you need to understand this. Let's go here. Let's pull a script. Right? This is the book of John 15 and 10. It says, matter of fact, I wanna go to another version, but I wanna keep this on right here. Give me 1 second. 1 second, Salakia. John 15 and 10. This Yahweh Shai, the Messiah. It says, if you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments. They go to show you that the Messiah and the Most High is not the same entity. They two separate entities. That cuts that Trinity doctrine, right? So I'm gonna read this again. It says, if ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments. So the Messiah, if you really are following the Messiah, you've been taught in the Christian church that the law is done away with. If you're supposed to be following the Messiah, you're going to do what he did. You're going to copy what he did, right? He kept the commandments of the Father. We're starting back at the book of Exodus, chapter 20, starting at the 10 commandments. So he kept the statute, laws, and commandments perfectly, which we can't do this in his flesh, but you need to replicate the best of your abilities what the Messiah did. But you Christians that say the law is done away with, and it's not cohesive with the truth. Right? That's how we know that you don't have the truth, because we supposed to be copying the behavior of the Messiah to the best of our abilities, because he kept the Most High commandments perfectly. But you Christians don't follow the statute, laws, and commandments because first off, it wasn't for you; it was for the Israelites, right? You're not Hebrew Israelites; you're heathens. Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in His love, right? So the Messiah kept the commandments of Yahweh, right? Let's go here, Matthew. Matter of fact, let's go to John 15. I want to go to a different version. John 15 and 10. Salakia. It says John 15 and 10, the New Living Translation. It says, when you obey my commandments, you remain in my love, just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. Well, there you go. Right? So let's go here. Let's go to Matthew 5 and 17. Right? The book of Matthew 5 and 17. Right? So it's like KJB. It says, think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets. So the Messiah didn't come to do away with the law. I am not come to destroy but fulfill. He came to fulfill this part of prophecy. But the law still is intact. Pursuant to the book of Romans 3 and 31. Right? So that cuts all this madness that you've been taught, right? So if you're supposed to be following so-called Christ, which would be Yahweh Shai, you're going to do what he did. He kept the commandments and the laws not done away with. But you've been taught differently, right? But again, going back into this redefinition of what the word Christian means, the true Christians are Israelites. Because when you go into the word Christian, it goes back to the word Christ, which means the Messiah. And you would copy what he did, right? You would mimic to the best of your abilities what the Messiah did. So that's the real Christians. Right? So this redefinition of the word Christian is all null and void. Like going back into the word Jewish, right? I'm gonna show you what I mean when they have put this word Jewish and Christian in all the books and all the literature to cause confusion. So when you think about these things, you could think about what they mean today, right? Like again, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let me show you something right here. This is why they do this. It says at the top, relationship to other groups. It says both Jews and Samaritans claim to be descendants of the Israelites. It says Jews. You see this word Jew is interjected, right? So when you see this word Jew, a Jewish, you see that in a lot of this literature, most of it. They rarely use the word Israelite because they don't want to make that connection, right? So when you see that word Jew or Jewish, the imagery in your mind goes back into these people, the Amalekites. They really Edomites, right? So this was purposely done. So they've hijacked these words, put them in place of the Israelites. Hebrew Israelites is what they took out of most literature, and they put the new speak in there. As I went into that definition, when they create new words and they add definition to existing words, right? And it's all to keep you confused and keep you lost, to keep you chasing your tail, right? So you won't never find out the truth, right? So I proved to you that the true Christians will be following the Messiah. The law is not done away with, right? And I'm showing you how this works with this new speak, right? And going back into that word that I went into, right? That shows you how they do this. So this is why so much confusion. And that word Jewish is everywhere when you start to study and going into these concordance and Bible commentaries, right? They use that word Jewish a lot, and Christian, the word Christian as well, because they want to disconnect us from our heritage, right? Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Shalom.